Akutsu was a failure of a demon who got sent to Earth on a mission to fight angels. However, after enrolling in a school, he is instantly mesmerized by a beautiful angel who wants to isekai him, but she ends up falling for his demon sausage instead. On his first day of school, he noticed Lily, a beautiful babe sitting by the window seat, causing his body to do backflips. He begins daydreaming about having her as his girlfriend and is about to strike up a conversation with her. Just then, a simp named Hirota confesses his love to her, but she politely turns him down. As Akutsu watches the scene, a classmate named Yuya informs him that Lily has rejected Hirota 5 times now, which impresses him, and he starts to think that Lily would be perfect for his plan. After school, he wonders how he should get close to her when he suddenly bumps into Lily coming out of a dark alley. Confused, he asks what she was doing in there, and she reveals that she got lost. Seizing the opportunity, Akutsu attempts to have a conversation with her but fumbles again, making Lily laugh, who then invites him to get coffee. As they start walking together, Lily gets lost in their conversation and ends up walking on Truck Kuin's turf, but before she could get hurt, Akutsu stops the truck with his body. As Lily tries to check up on him, she recoils in horror upon seeing that his face transformed into a demon's face, but before anyone sees him, Lily takes him to a secluded area. She then reveals to him that she noticed his face changing and asks him politely if he's a non-human entity. Finding it odd that Lily isn't scared, Akutsu wonders if she's the type of person who's into paranormal stuff and decides to reveal his true face. Confessing he's a demon, Akutsu discloses he came to the human realm on business because hell is on the verge of destruction, due to a bloody battle between demons and angels. Since all the demons are unmotivated to win, his superior tasked him to find a charismatic human who'd be able to motivate them. He then asks her if she'd help, but Lily nervously replies that she's not cut out for the job. However, when Akutsu assures her that she will do fine, he suddenly finds himself bound by chains. Now laughing wickedly, Lily unveils her wings and reveals herself as an angel. Upon hearing this, Akutsu realizes he made a grave mistake, while Lily continues to torment him for trying to recruit an angel for his nasty business. Enraged by how cocky she is, Akutsu warns her not to underestimate demons and breaks free of the chains. However, his efforts are all useless as within seconds, he's back in chains. Then unveiling a scythe, Lily tells Akutsu that she's going to exorcise him if he doesn't share his evil plans with her. Despite this, Akutsu refuses to trust her and is about to get eliminated, but Lily changes her mind and states that she wants to make him work for her instead. At first, Akutsu thinks of refusing her again, but realizes he has no other option, so he reluctantly agrees. Proud of herself, Lily then puts him under a dog collar, making sure that the demon wouldn't betray her or escape to hell. With the collar now intact, Akutsu asks Lily what she intends to do, and the angel reveals that he's going to be helping her hunt down demons. Enraged by her demand, Akutsu makes it clear to Lily that he won't be betraying his own kind. This surprises Lily, who admits that she wasn't aware demons had kinship, but in reply, Akutsu tells her that demons have their own norms. With that said, he tries to remove the collar when Lily informs him that only she can remove the collar. To flex just how powerful she is, Lily makes Akutsu's body move on her will as she reveals that not only does the collar stop him from escaping, but it also suppresses his demonic power. Akutsu curses Lily in his head when he suddenly finds himself bowing to her against his will. To humiliate Akutsu further, Lily turns him into her personal errand boy by making him get her drinks. Seconds later, the demon arrives, and when Lily asks him where her drinks are, he unbuttons his shirt and reveals all the drinks, stating that he wanted to warm the beverages for Her Highness. Of course, internally Akutsu cringes since he's unable to stop himself from behaving like an unloved simp whose only source of action is through his right hand. Continuing on with the humiliation ritual, Lily asks Akutsu if he has any wishes, and he finds himself begging her to trample his behind with her feet. His real self is completely mortified by how far Lily will go to torment him, and before she can wreck his Kiat, a policeman rushes towards them, which causes Lily and Akutsu to flee the scene. Once they arrive at an alley, Lily asks Akutsu if he is willing to comply with her wishes now, but he begs her to just exorcise him. Turning down his request, Lily confesses she has a goal which she can't reveal yet. So now he has two options. He either submits willingly or she continues to humiliate him till he becomes a laughing stock. Realizing he's completely cooked, Akutsu tells Lily that if a demon is nearby, he will let her know. Pleased with her handiwork, Lily arrogantly says that from now on, he'll be working as her servant, and in return, she'll reward him by turning him into a righteous man. However, Akutsu complains that being a good person sucks, and for the first time Lily agrees, so she tells him that for every task done well, she will hug him.
Damn good deal.
For a second, Akatsu considers the reward when Lily calls him a simpleton, making him realize that she was once again toying with him. All of a sudden, the police officer returns, begging Akatsu and Lily to have a three-way with him. Once again, the duo runs off, leaving the poor slob with his jewels as blue as Avatar. After coming home, Akatsu collapses on the bed, pissed about how bad his day was, when he finds the collar missing from his neck. Before he can celebrate, his phone buzzes and he finds Lily's text, informing him that the collar is part of his body now and would appear as a tattoo. This annoys him greatly as he had plans on hanging out at pools with hot babes, but now that he has a tattoo, he can't live his top fantasy. Meanwhile, at her place, Lily is filled with pride over enslaving a demon and is now determined to make those who doubted her pay. Before heading to bed, Akatsu thinks about how his senior, Liz, trusted him with the task of finding a charismatic human who will be able to motivate the lazy demons, someone like the great painter from Germany who rallied thousands of people for his cause. To show him just how serious this beef between demons and angels is, Liz shows him a photo from an angel's social media where he had captured a demon and posted him in a humiliating position. Seeing this, his heart completely shatters while Liz continues to pull receipts on how the angels tormented demons with psychological abuse. After finishing up, Liz tells him that he's their only hope now and hands him a wig that would help him gain sympathy from sad old men with receding hairlines. However, when he came to Earth, he instantly messed up. In the present, Akatsu makes up his mind to take down Lily at all costs, but the question is how. That's when he watches an advertisement on television, which becomes his beacon of hope. The following day, Hiroda and Yuya are hanging out in the hallway when suddenly a strong gust of wind blows them away. When they look up, they find Akatsu walking up to them with so much confidence that they wonder if he got a soul-snatching, toe-curling sloppy toppy from a hottie. Judging their reactions, Akatsu becomes confident that his plan to open Lily's floodgates with his new riz is bound to work. Turns out, the advertisement he watched last night was about a man impressing a fat land whale with his good looks. Believing he can also look smacks and charm Lily out of her thong, he spent the whole night improving his hair and face. Suddenly, the boys hear Lily's voice, and just when Akatsu faces her, he is bewitched by her cuteness. His reaction makes her smirk since she too had watched the same advertisement and had gotten the idea of rizzing the demon with her looks. However, upon looking closely, Lily blushes as she finds Akatsu looking real fine. At that moment, it dawned on both of them that they ended up watching the same advertisement. From that point, a boxing match starts between them, where Lily manages to secure the first hit by purposely throwing her eraser on the floor. When Akatsu goes to pick it, she purposely blushes and thanks him sweetly, which sends tingles down his demon dong. Quickly composing himself, Akatsu strikes back by gently fixing her hair, which gets her peach protectors soaking wet. Ticked off, Lily later gets back at Akatsu by cutely tugging his sleeve and asking him to help her carry all the heavy workbooks. Almost instantly, the demon feels his heart racing, but refuses to throw in the towel so early on. In response, he flexes his veins, turning Lily into a mosquito who's obsessed with veins. Throughout the day, both Akatsu and Lily continue to torment each other by their moves until the angel decides that victory will be hers, no matter what. So after solving an equation, Lily purposely falls on Akatsu and cutely apologizes, sending all his blood down the South Pole. But just when things are about to get heated, Shiromura angrily tells them he hates couples being lovey-dovey ever since he caught the plumber cleaning his wife's pipes. As a result, they're both punished and are unable to continue the battle of charms. A couple of days later, Lily waits for Akatsu to show up when she is greeted by two ugly chuds who pester her to hang out with them. Before she can send their ugly bottoms back to their mom's basements, Akatsu appears and coolly tells the chopped simps to leave Lily alone. Mesmerized by his swagger, the boys start cheering for Akatsu when suddenly, Lily boinks him hard for showing up late. At that moment, they realize that Lily is a spicy mamacita, so they quickly run off before she can direct their fury on them. Regrouping from the attack, Akatsu analyzes Lily's outfit and asks her why she's in grandma clothes. Now blushing in embarrassment, Lily admits that since she's mostly at home, she doesn't know how to dress up properly. As Akatsu stares at her again, she calls him a gooner when he retaliates by saying that he thought she was trying to attract him by dressing up as his grandma. This ticks her off, and she warns the demon that if he doesn't act right, he'll face her wrath during the most important social events of his life. Realizing there's no winning against Lily at the moment, Akatsu quickly apologizes to her when Lily announces they will be hunting demons today. This secretly pisses off Akatsu, who knows that he will be indirectly becoming a reason for the death of his fellow demons. Sighing, he asks Lily if she has a specific area area in mind where they will be going, and she points at a poster, revealing that they'll be patrolling nearby areas where people have reported an increase in attacks led by stray dogs. Confused, he asks what she means, and Lily replies that she has a hunch that this is all the work of demons. With that said, she asks Akutsu how far he can detect a demon, and he answers that if it's a powerful demon, he'll be able to sense his presence from miles away. Upon hearing that, Lily concludes that Akutsu will have to get close to a weak demon to sense his presence. As he confirms this, Lily casually calls him useless, but before he can roast her back, he suddenly senses an ominous presence. Seeing the tense look on his face, Lily asks him if something is bothering him, but Akutsu keeps his lips sealed shut, which prompts Lily to state that he won't be able to keep secrets from her for that long. From there on, they initiate their demon hunting session, but after a while, both Lily and Akutsu get fed up and decide to stop by a cafe for some food. As she munches on her burger, Lily admits that it's hard to find demons, while Akutsu tells her that if she continues to pig out, she will end up looking like a Teletubby. Pissed off by his remark, she grabs him by the collar and starts shaking him when suddenly, Akutsu senses the same ominous presence. As they both try to find the source of the evil energy, they look up and find Hirota crying, upset over Akutsu breathing the same air as Lily. However, once he joins them, he gets told by the two that they were just exploring the town together. Hirota sighs in relief, explaining that he had been following them for a while, which makes Akutsu wonder if the negative energy he sensed was basically just Hirota being jealous. Suddenly, a petite baddie approaches their table and complains to Hirota about not receiving enough attention from him. Addressing her as Yuka, Hirota apologizes and then introduces her to his friends. However, when Yuka sees Lily, she instantly makes fun of her height, forgetting she's the same length as hers. Deep inside, Lily wants to rip her to shreds, but since she has the whole angelic reputation to uphold, she politely greets Yuka, who disregards her completely. When it's Akutsu's turn to introduce himself, Yuka quickly turns away, not wanting to fall for his good looks. With the introductions made on one side, Hirota then reveals that Yuka is his oldest friend when she suddenly cuts him off and claims herself as his ba. Seizing this opportunity, Lily quickly tells Hirota that he shouldn't have confessed to her 5 times if he already has a girlfriend. Upon hearing this, Yuka burns with anger and drags Hirota away, while Akutsu reprimands Lily for acting like a pick-me. Already fed up by everything, Lily tells Akutsu that their demon hunting session is over for the day and leaves him there. The next day at school, Akutsu finds Yuka and Lily having a verbal spat with each other as Yuka reveals that she actually studies in the next class. Observing how they're both being fake nice to each other, Akutsu sighs and heads to the rooftop to relax when he's greeted by Hirota and Yuya. As the boys start messing with each other, Akutsu asks Hirota why he doesn't date Yuka, who is obsessed with him, but just the idea of getting it on with his friend makes his noodle limp. After school, Lily texts Akutsu that they'll be going demon hunting, but he lies to her by saying he has a tummy ache. Sighing, the angel decides to take care of business herself when she is greeted by Yuka. As the girls get talking, Yuka suddenly invites Lily to hang out with her, which surprises her a little, and yet she agrees to it. Arriving at the mall, Yuka pushes Lily to try on clothes that gets Lily wondering whether this is Yuka's way of extending an olive branch. However, once she wears the clothes, she realizes that Yuka is purposely giving her extra large clothes to laugh at her. So from then on, the Cold War starts between the two girls where they both attempt to humiliate one another. By evening, Yuka announces they should end this day by going to the photo booth. After getting their pictures taken, Lily frets over where she should stick them, which makes Yuka realize that she was being hard on her for no reason. After having a change of heart, Yuka apologizes to Lily, who also makes an attempt to befriend Yuka by assuring her that she doesn't have feelings for Hirota. Once their misunderstandings are cleared up, Yuka heads out first, and when Lily gets out, she finds Akutsu completely out of breath. Seeing his state, she quickly realizes that a demon is nearby, so she puts on her game face and heads out to crush her enemy. Upon seeing the demon in a dog form, Lily tells him to submit now, and she'll make the exorcism swift. Confused, the demon innocently asks her why she wants to even unplug his life subscription, and Lily reveals that it's because he has been attacking women. Scoffing hard, the demon tells her that if she manages to defeat him, he'll tell her what's really up. With that, he transforms into a fruity costume, which makes Lily want to rinse her eyes with acid. But since she can't do that, she instead whips the demon with her chains. Seeing this torture, Akutsu rushes to console the demon, who senses his demonic presence and calls him a traitor for siding with Lily. Before Akutsu can defend himself, Lily steps in and tells him to back off because she is about to exorcise this irrelevant loser. Akutsu hurries and stops them both from fighting each other, claiming they shouldn't resort to violence. To make his words more effective, he pulls a K-pop idol heart signal, implying they should love each other. Of course, both Lily and the demon dog ignore him and resume their fighting, which upsets him. To show how serious he is about spreading love, Akatsu changes into a costume that he made for when he went to visit Diddy in prison and begins singing about love. Once he's done, he throws the mic at Lily, who sings about how regretful she is to meet Akatsu. After hearing Lily's song, the demon dog shudders in horror, realizing just how cruel angels can be. As she passes the mic back, Akatsu starts to weep and says that sticks and chains may excite him, but words are what hurt him truly. Suddenly, the demon realizes that Akatsu had been taking all the damage for his sake, so Lily wouldn't come for him. Without further delay, he tells Akatsu to stop as he understands all his sacrifices and starts crying with him. Seeing the two demons have open bromance, Lily sighs and decides to spare the demon dog on the condition of hearing all his sins. In the end, the demon finally admits that he was attacking women because he was attracted to their thick thighs and shorts. But when they started hiding their thunder thighs from him by wearing leggings, he became agitated and began biting them out of frustration. Both Akatsu and Lily are appalled by the demon's logic, who now sheds tears, stating that before Akatsu nobody gave a toot about him. In the end, Lily gets fed up and tells the demon she's going to make him pure, and with a swing of her scythe, she turns him into a cute puppy. Within seconds, she calls Kearney, a woman who rescues cats and dogs from a certain group of people who like to consume them. Once the demon puppy is rescued safely by Kearney, Akatsu asks Lily what she just did, and the angel reveals that she sealed away the demon's wicked thoughts. She then confesses that she has no intention of ever murdering a demon, even if angels and demons are arch enemies. Taken aback by this revelation, Akatsu wonders if he was given the wrong intel on angels by his superior, since the angel in front of him not only spares demons but also takes cute pictures with them after she's done erasing their wickedness. That itself leads him to wonder if perhaps Lily is one of a kind when suddenly she tells him that she'd like to treat him to Oden for his good work. However, when she catches him lacking, she asks him if he's okay, and Akatsu admits that he never thought she would be so kind. At first, Lily laughs off the compliment, but in truth, she finds herself blushing as she thinks about how she never expected anyone to call her kind. From that day on, Akatsu starts having naughty dreams about Lily where she's flying on his magic carpet.
Yeah, boy.
In class, Shiromura catches him dreaming and instantly boinks his head, but even then, all he can do is gaze at Lily longingly. That night, as Akatsu thinks about his new feelings for Lily, he is visited by Liz, who shows up wearing a school uniform just to motivate him.
Nice.
However, when she doesn't get a good reaction, she changes subject and asks him if he has found someone to lead the lazy demons of hell. Akatsu's thoughts once again drift off to Lily, and he tells Liz that he does have someone in mind, but he's going to play it safe since the person he wants to recruit definitely has some issues. Understanding his caution, Liz then reveals that she is here to stay for the night and rushes to change her outfit. Suddenly, Akatsu starts cooking up scenarios, wondering if his demon dong will finally get action tonight. Once Liz comes out, he realizes he was extremely wrong as she pulls out her sleeping bag and falls asleep straight away. The next day, Liz announces they're having a training session where he'll have to try and recruit strangers for the mission. So without further ado, Akatsu gets to work, but all the foids ignore him. Sighing at his current state, Liz pushes Akatsu to try harder, revealing that even if he does find an eligible candidate for their plan, if he can't convince them to willingly come to hell, then it'll all be for nothing. So on his next try, he tells a busty babe that he lost his dog and is desperate to find him. Taking pity on him, the girl hands out her contact to him, promising to be on the lookout for his doggo. Observing his improvement, Liz then gives him a tip by disclosing that he can get anyone to help him out if he knows how to manipulate their weak spot. Taking this lesson to heart, Akatsu then attempts to pick up his next victim, which unfortunately turns out to be Yuka, who instantly guesses that he's out here hitting on chicks. In the end, they end up going to a bar where Yuka bluntly asks if he has a crush on Lily. Turning red, Akatsu tries to deny it, but Yuka teasingly tells him that he's not fooling her. Wanting to change subjects, Akatsu asks her what's the deal between her and Hirota, and Yuka sadly admits that she has liked him for a long time, but is now coming to realize that perhaps she needs to move on. At that moment, Akatsu tries to say something smart, knowing Yuka is vulnerable, so he tries to say a motivating quote he heard from Liz, but ends up messing it all up. To his luck, Yuka thanks him for cheering her up when Liz tells him through the intercom to invite Yuka to walk with him in the park. That night, Yuka shyly tells Akatsu that he won't utter what happened tonight with anyone and walks away. Seconds later, Liz appears, commending him on his efforts when she recalls how he pounced on the server and admits that she wasn't familiar with his preferences.
You are gay.
Turns out, this was Lily's doing as she had accidentally triggered the collar, making him act out. After parting ways with Liz, Akatsu makes up his mind about trying his best to riz Lily. The next day at school, Lily stares at her reflection, determined to make Akatsu fall for her cuteness. But when she finds Akatsu looking more dashing than ever, she becomes upset, realizing this won't be easy. What further annoys her is when Akatsu gently pokes her, making her release that holy water. At that moment, she concludes that he must be trying to challenge her to a battle of cuteness, so she warns him that if he acts out, she'll make him do somersaults right in the middle of class. To her dismay, Akatsu simply smiles, which pisses her so much that she decides to show him her own riz game. After class, when the moment is right, she cheerfully asks Akatsu where Shiramura is, hoping to blind him with his dazzling cuteness. But when he casually points in his direction, Lily realizes that something has changed inside Akatsu, and he's no longer the simp demon who'd react violently to her charms. To make herself feel better, she uses 2 simps to test out her charms on. As they gush over her cuteness, Lily realizes that she can still make city boys lose their minds over her. Now with renewed confidence, she tries to attack Akatsu with subtle riz, but when he ignores and deflates all her moves, Lily becomes extremely pissed. Then out of nowhere, Akatsu tells her that she looks beautiful with her hair tied up, making her blush profusely. After calming down, Lily becomes determined to win this war by hook or crook, and decides to make a sneak attack on Akatsu, spotting him on the staircase. Lily jumps at him, hoping to make a direct landing on either his face or his demon dong. But what she didn't know was that Akatsu is now a changed man, so before she could succeed, he grabs her hand, gently pulling her into his embrace, and then tells her that he doesn't want her pretty face getting hurt. At that moment, Lily's internal fighter accepts defeat as Akatsu and his fighter comes to gloat about how she shouldn't have underestimated the demon kind. Before she can be humiliated further, Lily turns to leave when Akatsu grabs her hand and states they should go to the infirmary to make sure she is okay. Unable to say anything, Lily quietly follows him and heads inside the nurse's office. In the meantime, Akatsu relishes his recent victory when Lily takes a seat beside him. She assures him that she's fine when Akatsu notices her eyeing the water bottle in his hand. As he gets up to fetch her water, Lily grabs his bottle and shyly says that if she drinks from it, they'll share an indirect kiss. This makes Akatsu blush, which in return makes Lily excited, when suddenly the tides turn as he tells her not to say such embarrassing things. Thinking his reaction is genuine, Lily blushes, realizing she was acting like a hoe when she suddenly catches him smirking. Upon realizing this was a trick, Lily ups her game by purposely throwing water on her body, hoping to rile up the man inside Akatsu. But what she doesn't know is that he took ashwagandha before this battle, and so he reacts calmly by handing her his jacket. Defeated and dejected, the poor Angle returns to her seat when Yuka comes up to her and inquires if she's okay. Without looking up, Lily asks her if there's a way to crush a man's coconuts and heart at the same time. Yuka understandably takes a moment to register Lily's question and then pulls up her phone and shows her something on it. After school, Lily suddenly invites Akatsu to her place, revealing her intention of cooking for him. Hearing this, Akatsu warns himself to stay on guard and not fall for Lily's trad wife act. However, when he sees her huge condo, he wonders if Lily has Mr. Beast as her sugar daddy. So while Lily is away, he practices his backshot pose, hoping to make cash Bonnie Blue style in order to live lavishly. Suddenly, Lily arrives in an apron, and upon seeing her, Akatsu's lower half rises to give her a standing ovation. Judging his reaction, Lily's fighting spirit returns as she teases him by giving him a 360. To further rile him up, she places a plate full of food, which surprises him, as he admits that he didn't expect her to be so wifu-coated. Upon tasting the pasta, Akatsu is amazed by the taste, while Lily puts 3 to 4 dishes of different styles of pasta. Seeing this, he asks if she loves pasta, and Lily confesses that she basically lives on pasta. Scoffing in response, Akatsu tells her to have a more balanced meal, which surprises Lily, who then asks what he likes to eat. When he eagerly reveals that he loves eating bell peppers, Lily bursts out laughing. As the night continues, Lily announces they should watch a movie and Akatsu agrees, picking an action movie. However, Lily instantly opposes the movie he selected, revealing it features too many bugs. A fight ensues between the two until Lily finally wins and puts on a romance movie, which bores out Akatsu until a kissing scene pops up. Before his soldier can rise for duty, he tries to calm himself when he catches Lily looking at him expectantly. Quickly averting his gaze, Akatsu asks if she needs something, prompting her to awkwardly announce that she's going to grab some drinks when suddenly her foot slips. Before she can fall, Akatsu reaches to grab her but ends up on top of her. At that moment, his brain short-circuits, and he suddenly finds himself feeling extra thirsty. Only Lily's holy water can quench his thirst. So he removes her glasses and is about to kiss her when suddenly her phone starts to ring, giving them a heart attack. Before things can get awkward, Akutsu excuses himself while Lily continues to burn red in embarrassment. Later that night, after giving her weekly report to her supervisors, Lily realizes that her heart is still racing from everything that happened with Akutsu. Finding himself in the same boat, Akutsu wonders why his heart aches every time he thinks of Lily when it suddenly dawns on the two idiots that they've fallen for each other. The next day, Lily finds herself feeling drowsier by every passing second. Turns out she didn't get a wink of sleep last night, and now she can't help but sleep in class. Finding herself in the dream world, Lily curses herself for napping as she's supposed to be an honor student who sets an example for the entire student body. Suddenly, Akutsu shows up, making her more upset as she had been avoiding thinking about him. Out of nowhere, her dream turns into a dating simulator, and from there, Lily gets the idea of beating Akutsu's path so she can snap back to reality. Unfortunately, her dream is no less than Madara's Jinjutsu as it starts to bug out when she makes an attempt to escape from it. Meanwhile, Akutsu catches Lily sleeping and thinks to himself that he had always been curious about her sleeping face. As he turns to take a look, he finds her tweaking out like she's going through a meth withdrawal. Seeing this, he makes up his mind to delete this memory so he can always remember Lily as a baddie. Meanwhile, in her dream, Lily eagerly waits for the date event to take place, but then realizes she is overly excited to go on a date with her mortal enemy. Suddenly, Akutsu arrives and the date event begins. For the first time, Lily allows herself to get lost in the sauce and hopes Akutsu would kiss her. When out of nowhere a samurai appears and cuts down Akutsu in front of her. As she hurries to tend to him, Akutsu tells her that he lost to the samurai because he had too much ice cream, gently placing a hand on her cheek. He then tells her that this was the first time he fell in love before dying in front of her. Suddenly, she is shaken awake by Akutsu and Yuka, who reveal to him that she was having a nightmare. However, when she sees Akutsu alive and kicking, she tears up, realizing that it was nothing more than a nightmare. That afternoon, Lily wakes up from a nap in the nurse's office and reflects on how she has been acting like a love-sick puppy when she suddenly hears Akutsu's voice. Before he can speak to her, she pretends to sleep but ends up daydreaming about him acting like her boyfriend from Wattpad. Feeling frustrated, she angrily confronts Akutsu, asking him what he wants when she finds him playing with his tie. This gives her the wrong idea as she concludes that he must have wanted to swap her V card while she's asleep. So without thinking further, she chains Akutsu up and yells at him for trying to diddle her. That's when Akutsu reveals that he wanted to just talk about the collar tattoo on his neck. Once she returns to pack her bag, she vehemently tells him that she's not going to remove the collar. In reply, Akutsu informs her that he wants to go to the Sento baths where he'll bathe with hot babes, but if his tattoos are visible, he won't be allowed inside. His request surprises Lily, who reminds Akutsu that he was supposed to recruit a motivational speaker for Hell. That's when he confesses that he wasn't doing well in Hell, and ever since he came on Earth, he started thriving and now wants to enjoy his life. Turning towards Lily, Akutsu smiles and says that she wouldn't understand what he feels since she lived in heaven, which is significantly better than hell. But just as the words leave his mouth, Akutsu realizes that Lily will likely make fun of his situation when she empathetically tells him that she understands. In the end, she makes him sit down so she could rewrite the command on the collar, but ends up accidentally calling out her anti-demon weapon that appears to be a curvy version of her. Fortunately, Akutsu manages to keep his head, unlike King Henry's wives. Confused, Akutsu what's going on, and Lily apologetically reveals that she was afraid he'd betray him, so she hid the weapon inside the collar. And now it's out of her control. The door opens, and Shiromura angrily asks why they haven't went home when suddenly the weapon lunges to attack him, before something terrible could happen. Akutsu uses himself to protect his teacher while Lily hurries to bind her weapon. But when the weapon proves too powerful to hold back, she tells Akutsu to escape out from the window. Following her lead, the duo enter the ground when the weapon quickly follows after them. Weirded out by her own weapon's defiance, Lily wonders why she is unable to control it when she suddenly locates a tattoo on the weapon's back. As she freezes in horror, the weapon approaches her for the beheading when Akutsu uses himself to shield her from the attack. Snapping back, she asks him if he's okay, and he bluntly tells her to get herself together, reminding her that they cannot just die yet. Lily acknowledges Akutsu's words, realizing that she has worked extremely hard to get to where she is, and she can't let her own weapon take her down. With determination fueling her, she tells Akutsu that someone else is controlling her weapon, but she has a plan to make this stop. However, Akutsu asks in concern if she can really bring her weapon back under her control, and Lily confidently tells him to trust his master. Now realizing the old Lily is back, Akutsu places his faith in her and follows her command. Once they are able to trick the weapon, Lily places her hand on the tattoo, which unleashes a bunch of snakes. But since Lily had been expecting this, she remains unfettered and announces that she is taking back her weapon. After a few minutes of struggle, Lily manages to succeed and gets her weapon back under control. Once the battle is over, Akutsu admits that his body feels incredibly heavy, and Lily apologetically reveals that she was still limiting his powers. Before he could confront her, she falls unconscious, making him worry. That night, Akutsu brings Lily home, but when he turns to leave, she stops him and begs him not to go.
Yeah, baby.
For a second, Akutsu's mind conjures up unholy scenarios about the holy angel until he finds her trembling. Taken aback, he thinks about how Lily looked shaken up during the fight, so he decides to be there for her without expecting some oral love from her. As he makes himself comfortable, his thoughts drift back to the battle when Lily told him that her weapon was being controlled by someone else. This leaves him questioning if perhaps she was facing any trouble in heaven. Clearing his head, Akutsu hopes that Lily would reward him by helping him out one day, when suddenly he questions himself over why he decided to even help an angel. A shudder runs down his spine as he wonders if he is now a good man when he suddenly sees his own self in front of him, who tells him that he helped Lily out because he's in love with her. Now panicking, Akutsu tries to deny the love allegations when his other self counters that he doesn't need to explain anything to him since he is him. To boost his morale, his superior self assures him that he has a good shot at getting inside Lily's pearly gates, since she trusted him to be there for her during a time where she was her most vulnerable self. Now excited, Akutsu begins to celebrate that a shawty like Lily is into him, when suddenly Shiramura pops out of her bed and tackles him down. Meanwhile, Lily stirs awake, realizing she's still wearing her uniform, and quickly heads for a bath. Only after she's done, she finds Akutsu casually sleeping in a lonely corner, talking to himself. Shocked at the sight, she is about to call the police on him when she remembers stopping him. Pissed at herself, she schemes to throw a showpiece on Akutsu's head so he'll get permanent amnesia. But then, she finds a wound on his palm from when he guarded her and softens up. To express her gratitude, Lily nurses his hand while he's fast asleep, and then recalls how she promised him hugs in return for doing his job well. However, now she finds herself in a dilemma since it's beneath her to hug a stinky demon, and yet she convinces herself that she will only hug him once and never again. Once that's settled, she wonders what would be an appropriate time to hug him. Not wanting to be your creepy Uncle Steve who likes giving unconsented hugs, Lily decides to reward Akutsu when he's awake. However, she starts having second thoughts, realizing that the demon will likely tease her later. Meanwhile, in his dream, Akutsu receives a lecture on how to understand women by Shiramura, who pushes him to act like a woman to know a woman. On the other hand, Lily is about to hug him when she hears him in his sleep, and gets scared that he'll wake up right when she's about to give him an unconsented hug. Then spotting an empty space between Akutsu's legs, Lily nimbly places herself, wondering what she should do next, when suddenly Akutsu gives her a hug. With her racing fast, Lily freaks out when she finds Akutsu trembling. Surprised by this, she wonders if it's because he nearly lost his life today. Now easing up, she allows herself to get sucked into Akutsu's warmth and reflects on how she never thought she would find comfort in his presence. After a moment, she gets up and changes the color of Akutsu's collar tattoo. Once that's out of the way, Lily convinces herself that she did give Akutsu a good reward for his efforts today. Her mind then drifts to the question on how he brought her home, as she imagines him carrying her in his strong arms. She becomes so excited that she decides to hide in the blanket and goon herself to sleep. The following morning, Akutsu wakes up and finds himself chained. Knowing this is Lily's handiwork, he seethes until he finds her sleeping peacefully. Smiling softly, he turns to leave when he realizes that he broke Lily's lock to bring her in, and now can't leave until she's awake. A few hours later, Lily wakes up and finds Akutsu on wife duty. Upon seeing her, he asks if she's okay, and Lily responds grumpily that she doesn't need a demon worrying about her. Noticing the food on the table, she asks him why he made food for her, and Akutsu reveals that it was to thank her for the bandage. Pouting shyly, she states that she only patched him up because he's her slave. As they sit down to eat, Lily notices that Akutsu is having trouble eating and tries to feed him, but then chickens out. While sharing the meal together, both Akutsu and Lily bicker over whose pasta was better until they finally run out of energy. After breakfast, they step out, and Lily can't help but notice how radiant Akutsu looks in the sun. Suddenly, he heads towards the opposite direction, which confuses her, and she tells him the school is not in that direction. That's when Akutsu reveals that he's skipping the first period and wants to rest for a while. Of course, Lily scolds him over it when Akutsu reminds her that he risked his life to help her. In response, Lily fires back that if he hadn't done that, and the weapon did manage to eliminate her, then the collar would have exploded and he would died as well. shocked by the revelation. Akutsu angrily asks her why she would even carry such a dangerous weapon when Lily shyly reveals that she changed the color of the collar tattoo while he was fast asleep. Upon hearing that, Akutsu becomes delighted and thanks Lily repeatedly when suddenly they're greeted by two very shocked Hirota and Yuka, who assume they are being lovey-dovey after getting their freak on so hard that the bed now needs therapy. A few hours later, Lily calls Akutsu for an impromptu meeting where she reveals that Hirota and Yuka have told the whole school that they were dogging it out in her condo. As a result, when she entered class before his arrival, she was attacked by boys and girls, ravenous for juicy gossip. In the end, she had to escape to the rooftop to save her ears from being burned by the unholy questions that were thrown at her. Meanwhile, Akutsu is taken aback by all this and asks Lily why Hirota did something so vile. She then reveals that he didn't intentionally gossip about them, but he was so torn up about catching them together that he went into a depressive episode where he kept mumbling about them doing lovey-dovey stuff after a passionate night. As Lily tells him they need to do damage control, Akutsu wonders if he should let it be since it doesn't bother him that much. That is until he realizes that if rumors about him and Lily spread, he won't be able to rizz up any other babe. In the end, Akutsu tells Lily that they should put on a show for their classmates, and she agrees. Returning to the class, Lily is once again surrounded by all the female students including Yuka, as they eagerly ask her for the naughty deeds. Lily excuses herself, which makes Yuka wonder if she's trying to hide her embarrassment. Meanwhile, Lily smirks, knowing she's purposely misleading everyone, and opens the door where she is greeted by Akutsu as planned. Then, talking loudly, Lily asks Akutsu if he got home safely, and he answers by saying that he did, thanks to her. With that, Lily excuses herself while Akutsu returns to his seat, leaving all the girls foaming from their mouths. They discussed among each other how the two were putting on a shameless act when a manga freak by the name of Koyamatsu claims that they were not, acting as they looked too natural. Smirking at this, Akutsu thinks the plan is working until Yuka asks everyone if they can really believe the absurd story Lily fed them, which is basically states that Akutsu got lost while exploring the city, ended up inside her building, where he ran into a couple of enemies who were hellbent on beating him. But once he prevailed over them, he ran into a trap, and that's when Lily showed up and helped him out. Upon hearing the story from another person, Akutsu realizes just how stupid Lily's plan is, but since he had decided to follow her plan, he puts on a show for everyone by dusting his jacket, to prove that his clothes got dirty while fighting enemies. Suddenly, his friends arrive, and when Akutsu notices Hirota, he realizes that the old chap looks like he saw two girls one cup for the first time. As the day progresses on, Lily and Akutsu sit together with Yuya, Hirota, and Yuka for lunch. However, not once does Lily allow herself to relax, since she knows Yuka is up to no good. Her hunch is proven true when Yuka sweetly apologizes to her for thinking she lost her V card before marriage. To show that she's sincere, she feeds her a cherry and then turns to Akutsu to do the same. This shocks them both while Yuka smirks, recalling the conversation she had with Koyamatsu, who told her to make either Lily or Akutsu jealous if she wants to know for sure if they did hanky-panky or not. Now in the present, Yuka mentally pats her back, thinking she'll not only be making Lily jealous, but will also get to know how Hirota feels about her getting chummy with Akutsu. Oblivious to all, Akutsu gulps down the cherry, which surprises Yuka, who thinks that if Akutsu and Lily were dating, he'd show a bit of hesitance. When she turns to look at Lily, Yuka shudders in horror, realizing that is mega pissed. However, this makes her wonder if something is going on between the two, and so to learn more, she asks Akutsu if he's free this weekend. Despite being ticked off, Lily bites her tongue while Akutsu casually tells Yuka that he is. Once the weekend rolls in, the two hang out at a mall where Yuka poses for Akutsu in glasses whose eyes trail down to her melons, and he excitedly tells her that she looks like his favorite actress, Mia Khalifa. Hearing this, Yuka quickly buys the glasses. Meanwhile, Hirota, Yuya, and Lily watch them like hawks from afar. Yuya then politely thanks Lily for inviting him on this stakeout, fully knowing that Yuka is purposely hanging around Akutsu to make Lily jealous. Enjoying the drama, he innocently tells Lily that Akutsu and Yuka make a good couple, causing her to seethe in anger. As the day moves forward, Lily realizes that seeing Yuka and Akutsu makes her tiny heart ache. That's when Yuya tells her and Hirota that they should be more honest about their feelings, when both of them pretend not to understand. Yuya wishes them good luck and leaves to take care of his own business. After a while, Hirota excuses himself to use the restroom, leaving Lily all by herself, who now reflects on all the memories she shared with Akutsu. Suddenly, Yuka and Akutsu make a sudden return, causing Lily to seek shelter in the bushes, which turns out to be covered in a pond. Now shivering in the cold, Lily tries to sit tight when she overhears Yuka ask Akutsu about her. hesitantly. Akatsu begins listing all of the things he likes about her when Yuka asks him if he wants to date Lily. After a pause, he admits that he doesn't think they'll ever get to be a couple since he has certain goals that won't allow him to date her. As Lily hears this, her heart starts to ache, while Akatsu thinks to himself that even if he wants to date Lily, he can't since he's a demon and she's an angel. Suddenly, Hirota returns, catching Yuka and Akatsu by surprise, who inquire about the 2 drinks he's holding. Hirota nervously reveals he was with Lily, which incurs him Yuka's wrath. Meanwhile, Lily returns home, soaking wet and ends up catching a cold. As she attempts to sleep off the day, she can't help but think how Akatsu completely rejected the idea of dating her. However, in the end she realizes he was right since they're enemies. That night, Lily has trouble breathing and finds herself completely cooked by the flu. The next day at school, Akatsu relaxes after knowing Lily didn't show up because of her flu. Suddenly, a new student takes Lily's seat, but when Akatsu takes a good look at her face, he takes a few steps back in horror, realizing that she's Lily's weapon that nearly made him eligible for those disability checks. Seeing his reaction, Yuya and Hitora ask him if he knows the new transfer student, when suddenly she speaks up, introducing herself as Lily's elder sister, Lilia. She then thanks Akatsu for looking after Lily in her stead. Everyone is instantly bewitched by her beauty, including Yuya, who is usually a Sigma. When he asks her why she's here, Lilia explains that she came to take class in Lily's place. As Shiramura enters the class, Lilia asks him to make her an exception and let her take class instead of Lily. However, Baldi turns her request down, stating that he can't let an outsider stay in his class. However, Lilia remains unfettered and asks Shiramura once more, this time more sternly. Suddenly, his mind remembers her attacking, and he ends up allowing her out of fear for his life. While everyone cheers at the thought of having a baddie in their class, Akatsu tries to calm himself by thinking that Lilia possibly wouldn't attack him with so many people around, when she suddenly addresses him and says that she's deeply indebted to him for taking care of her sister. That's why she got out to express her gratitude to him. At that moment, Akatsu realizes that Lilia is cooking up something. Once the class starts, he can't help but worry about her sudden arrival, wondering if Lily sent her to keep an eye on him. When he turns to look at her, he finds her struggling to fill her mechanical pencil. Seeing a stupid look on her face, Akatsu wonders if he was wrong to worry about Lilia, who now looks like a harmless hamster, when suddenly, Lilia throws the knife at him. Shocked by the sudden attack, Akatsu realizes that he can't let his guard down no matter how cute she looks. Later, during the sports period, all the boys get a stiffy seeing Lilia in her gym shorts except for Akatsu, who knows that messing with a hot psycho ain't worth it. Suddenly, Lilia prepares herself to attack Akatsu with the ball, and despite his attempt to shield himself, the ball easily takes him out. As he sits by himself to avoid taking further damage, Lilia arrives and surprises him by apologizing to him. She confesses that she feels guilty for attacking him and Lily the other day. Akatsu assures her that it wasn't her fault since she was being manipulated by someone else, which eases her up a bit. Akatsu then tells her that she's a bit weird for apologizing to her master's enemy, and Lilia counters by saying that he's also one strange demon. Continuing on, he notes that she shares a weird semblance with Lily, causing Lilia to reveal that from the moment weapons are embedded into their master's souls, they're influenced by their traits, which includes appearance. She further informs Akatsu that some masters allow their weapons to gain self-awareness, which makes him realize that Lilia made the conscious decision of apologizing to him. Once that's cleared up, she tells Akatsu that she was curious about Lily's school, since she seems to be genuinely enjoying herself here, unlike heaven, where she was extremely miserable. However, what doesn't make sense to Akatsu is why she attacked him twice, so he angrily confronts her on that. Lilia lashes back at him, stating that Lily is sick because of him, but that only confuses Akatsu, who tells Lilia that he has no idea what she's waffling about. At that moment, Lilia realizes that Akatsu is completely clueless, so she tells him that because he was all chummy with Yuka, Lily became upset. Suddenly, Yuka reveals herself and casually states that she heard their conversation. She then tells them they should visit Lily since she's sick. So after school, both Akatsu and Lilia reluctantly arrive at Lily's apartment complex. Noticing how Lilia is trying to escape, Akatsu quickly stops her and says she's coming with him. However, upon further observation, he realizes that Lilia secretly sneaked out without Lily's permission, which means she's about to get a scolding from her. Once Lily opens the door, she is shocked to see her weapon casually wandering around in the world. But since Yuka is there, she decides to temporarily hold herself back from lashing out at her. After inviting everyone in, Lily asks Akatsu and Yuka if Lilia caused any trouble, and Yuka instantly assures her that everyone loved Lilia. Then, she turns to Lily and complains to her that she never shares anything about herself, Upon hearing this, Lilia takes it upon herself to tell Yuka and Akatsu all the details about Lily. Embarrassed by her, Lily angrily sends her to get supplies for the house while she excuses herself to make tea for her guests. Seizing this opportunity, Yuka plays Cupid and tells Akatsu to check up on Lily. Meanwhile, in the kitchen, Lily suddenly gets dizzy and is about to faint when Akatsu arrives to help her. For a brief moment, Lily allows herself to rest when she remembers how he outright rejected the idea of dating her. Now burning with jealousy, she pushes him and enviously asks him about his date with Yuka. Throughout this, Akatsu is lost about how he should react when suddenly Lily falls unconscious. As he takes her to the bedroom, Yuka takes her leave by advising Akatsu to not shut off his heart. Sighing, he returns to check up on Lily and catches her having a bad dream. He quickly rushes to her side, causing her to subconsciously grab his hand. A few moments later, Lily wakes up and blushes at the sight of Akatsu. The two finally talk it out as Akatsu fills her in on why Lilia came to school. He then tells her they should call a temporary ceasefire till she's feeling better, urging her to rely on him until she gets her vitals up. Hearing this, Lily shyly asks Akatsu to let her hold his hand, as she doesn't want to face any more nightmares alone. Despite being shy himself, he agrees when suddenly Lilia arrives and tells Lily that she can feel her emotions inside of her, which further embarrasses the angel. A couple of days later, Lily returns to her usual self and goes demon hunting with Akatsu when they're greeted by a man. As Lily becomes paralyzed at the sight of him, Akatsu instantly notices the semblance between them and realizes that the man is none other than Lily's older brother. Now terrified, he wonders where he should escape to since Lily's elder brother will definitely whoop him if he finds out he's a demon. As if on cue, he asks Akatsu to introduce himself, but before he can mess up, Lily sweetly tells her brother that Akatsu is her class fellow and she accidentally ran into him. Introducing himself as Zwei, the angel thanks Akatsu for looking after his sister and then asks him to excuse Lily and him, since they now want to spend some quality time together. However, as Lily bids him goodbye, Akatsu can't help but notice the blankness in her eyes. Now alone, the demon allows himself to take a sigh of relief, realizing that he was on the verge of a panic attack upon seeing Zwei. He then recalls Lily's dead look and wonders what could be the reason behind it until he settles on her having a huge brother complex for Zwei. However, something about her brother bothers him. Elsewhere, Lily kneels before Zwei, who interrogates her coldly about her relationship with Akatsu. She quickly lies and says they're not close, which makes him scoff, and he tries to intimidate her further by chopping a few of her golden locks. Then changing the subject, Zwei asks her how she managed to fight the weapon, which was being manipulated by their elder sister. Lily lies again, insisting that she had to put all of herself on the line to take down the rogue weapon. To make herself believable, she shows him a scar from the battle, which he ignores and instead inquires about her mission to eliminate demons. He calls her out over how she has only been targeting demons belonging to the beast type and inquisitively asks her if she is cooking something devious. In her defense, Lily tells Zwei that humanoid demons have a mind of their own, which is why she has been unsuccessful in hunting them. Now relaxing a little, Zwei admits that he believed she was trying to get revenge on him and their sister since she had to go through a lot because of them. In reply, Lily submissively tells Zwei that she is just doing the duty he told her to do. Hearing this, Zwei tells her that he's satisfied with her response and will report back to their elder sister. Just when Lily's about to relax, Zwei reveals that their sister wanted to manipulate her weapon with the intention of causing her trouble while she's fighting a demon, which means she ought to have been with a demon to call upon her weapon. As the words leave his mouth, Lily goes cold, and within seconds, Zwei pins her to the ground and warns her to come clean. Frozen in fear, Lily weeps and silently calls out for Akatsu to help her. Turns out, from afar, the demon had been controlling himself to jump in and rescue her. As he watches Zwei pin down his own sister, Akatsu realizes that he had forgotten that angels are ruthless and cold. All this happened because he had started spending more and more time with Lily, who he now starts to doubt as well. Since he had accidentally dialed Liz in a panic, Akatsu informs her that he spotted an angel. Hearing this, Liz urges him to run away, and he tells her that this is what he wants to do as well, but then jumps inside the barrier Zwei had created and tells Liz that he has been caught. After ending the call with his supervisor, Akatsu tries to come up with a way to get Lily out safely when Zwei calmly asks him if he is a demon. Without giving him an opportunity to answer, he rushes to cut him down, causing Akatsu to transform. Seeing his demonic features take over, Zwei tells Lily that she will be punished for hanging around a demon, then turning his attention back to Akatsu. He announces that it's time for demon hunting, making it clear to Akatsu that he won't be an easy opponent to fight. Before he can do something, he finds himself in chains belonging to Lily, who tearfully tells him that he messed up everything, because now she will be interrogated while he'll end up meeting a much tragic fate. In response, Akatsu tells her that he just couldn't bear her crying. With that, he assures Lily that he'll take down her brother, which she finds absurd since he's a proper menace. Even Zwei scoffs at his confidence and tells Akatsu that if he manages to strike him once, he'll pretend he never saw anything. As the fight begins, Zwei instantly proves himself and cockily tells Akatsu that he's just an Aura farmer who can't do anything real to defeat him. To show just how weak he is, Zwei calls upon Quartet, which happen to be his weapons. In a blink of an eye, they have Akatsu pinned to the ground while Zwei calls Lily to come stand by him. Addressing Akatsu, he tells Lily that he's going to reveal the disgusting truth about her to her demon lover before exorcising him. In response, Lily begs Zwei to show mercy, but he ignores her and cuts off her leggings, exposing weird marks all across her legs. As he calls Lily disgusting, Akatsu becomes mad with fury and confronts Zwei why he is tormenting his own sister. In reply, he tells Akatsu that Lily is a wingless fraud and deserves every bit of torment. Confused, Akatsu counters that Lily does have wings, which prompts Zwei to order Lily to unleash her so-called wings. Knowing Akatsu's life is on the line, Lily reluctantly does as told, and upon seeing her wings, Zwei bursts into laughter, confusing Akatsu further. Then, in a single swift strike, he cuts down Lily's wings, revealing that for angels, wings are a symbol of how strong they are. And Lily had been using her chains to make her wings look grand, so she's basically a scammer. To mock her further, Zwei unveils his own wings, but Akatsu has enough. Unable to bear that son of a cow tarnishing Lily's reputation, Akatsu resorts to breaking his own limits. Suddenly, a crack is heard, and Zwei arrogantly assumes that Akatsu must have broken a bone when he's bamboozled by his own weapon being thrown like a mere ragdoll. Now free from the Quartet's grip, Akatsu destroys the weapons one by one. Enraged at the sight of his precious weapons being demolished, Zwei tries to behead Akatsu, but is stunned to see him hold his sword with his bare hand. However, his horror doesn't stop there as he watches Akatsu grow wings. Before he has a chance to retaliate, Akatsu throws him away like he's made of paper. In the meantime, Lily watches in horror, realizing that she underestimated Akatsu. Similarly, Zwei is confused after seeing Akatsu's transformation, as he had never heard of demons possessing wings, when suddenly Akatsu appears in front of him and starts feeding him knuckle sandwiches. Lily tries to stop him, but all her cries fall on deaf ears as Akatsu continues to beat Zwei, making him recall how he has been a coward who let his younger sister suffer years of pain. Without saying something to the demon, Zwei hopes he'll take care of Lily and surrenders himself to his mercy. Just when Akatsu is about to deal him the punch of judgment, Lily arrives and shields her brother with her body. As Akatsu stops in his tracks, Lily tells him to stop because if he eliminates Zwei, heaven will come for him. To further make her case, she reveals that her brother never hurt her physically. Wanting to knock the Stockholm Syndrome out of this dumb hoe, Akatsu slaps her hand, which enrages Zwei since only he can hurt her. Quickly teaming up together, he then tells Lily that he believes Akatsu's wings work the same way as an angel's, reminding her that before he started terrorizing them, he had 6 wings, but now he's left with 5. Which means he has used up a wing's worth of energy. After hearing her brother's theory, Lily asks him if they should deal with Akatsu until his wings disappear, but he tells her that in his current state, he'll mess them up. So he makes a proposal to her, revealing that he'll take care of 4 wings, but she'll have to lend him a hand with the last wing. Surprise, Lily asks Zwei if he's seriously helping her when he tells her to stop LARPing and get down to business. True to his word, Zwei puts his life on the line to erase Akatsu's 4 wings and then tells Lily to handle the rest. Taking the opening her brother created for her, Lily locks Akatsu with her chains, which reminds her of the very first battle she had with him. Reflecting back, she admits that when she encountered Akatsu, she never thought they would come to understand each other so well, and yet, here they are. Now in tears, Lily begs him to return to his usual self, and she ends up fainting. Akatsu catches her in time. Back to his old self, he approaches Zwei, who thinks he's about to become demon meat, but Akatsu assures him that he's done with him. However, he warns him not to show his ugly face again, and then turns away with Lily resting in his arms. Returning home, Akatsu now worries about Lily dirtying his bed with her filthy clothes. Turns out, he's one germaphobe demon and doesn't like anyone sitting or resting on his bed with outside clothes. A moral battle is then unleashed in his head as he wonders if he should change Lily's clothes himself. By the time he reaches a decision, he finds Lilia changing Lily's clothes. Before his demonic dong can get goon material, Akatsu hurries out of the room, and when he returns, Lilia tells him they need to talk. However, she tells him that she wants to do it on the rooftop, with no other option but to obey. Akutsu follows Lilia when he notices a rash on her hand. Curious, he asks her what that's about, and Lilia informs him that when Zwei was tormenting Lily, she tried to come out but found herself chained by her own master. In the end, all she could do was feel the sadness flowing from Lily's body. Realizing that she must have witnessed his transformation, Akutsu eagerly asks her what happened to him, as he has no recollection of the fight. After a minute of silence, Lilia tells him that she has seen her fair share of demons, but he has to be the most revolting one of them because not only was he a murder machine, but he also enjoyed trampling over anyone who came in front of him. However, she also assures Akutsu not to feel guilty, as she could sense he wasn't in control of his own body. Confirming this, he reveals that something snapped inside him when he kept hearing Zwei mocking Lily. This helps Lilia understand why Lily felt no animosity for Akutsu even when she got hurt by him. Akutsu then reminds her that she brought him over to talk, and Lilia tells him that he must have noticed that Lily is being bullied by her own family. When he quietly confirms that he knows something is wrong with Lily's family, Lilia continued by revealing that all her life, Lily had to work herself to the bone to win her family's approval. She was enduring everything until he came. All of a sudden, she jumps on Akutsu and tells him that her master had convinced herself that she had to bear all the injustice until he showed up and inserted himself in her business, shattering her walls, and for that she's grateful to him. When Akutsu looks up, he finds her eyes filled with tears while a soft smile graces her lips. Still too stunned to speak, Akutsu lets Lilia weep as she tells him that she is eternally grateful to him for rescuing Lily from the darkness. However, he cannot help but think that he made a mess by inserting himself in an angel's life, as this is indirectly a betrayal to his kind. And yet, he finds his heart at peace over his decision to help Lily when suddenly, Lilia stops sobbing and tells him that she has been crying for the past few minutes, and he didn't have the decency to pat her head or to hug her. As the words leave her mouth, Akutsu's eyes land on her emotional support cushions as she urges him to embrace her. However, he realizes that if he gives in to temptations, God himself will have to come down from heaven to separate him from Lilia's milkers. So in the end, he resorts to patting her head when suddenly a flash goes off. At first, Akutsu thinks this country is having a round 3 of the nuclear special when he realizes the flash was from Lilia's camera. Confused, he asks her why she is taking pictures of them, and she blankly tells him that if he doesn't want these pictures reaching Lily, he better continue to serve as her shield. Akutsu is obviously pissed at first, but then points at the fact that if she shows the picture to Lily, she will also get a scolding in return. In return, Lilia scoffs at him, which makes him smile as he realizes that she deeply cares for her master. Then, out of nowhere, she asks Akutsu if he wants to feel her gravity-defying jugs. He can do so now. But he angrily tells her that he's not going to fall for the honey trap again. A few hours later, Lily finally wakes up, completely confused by her surroundings. As she looks down, she finds her clothes changed when suddenly, Akutsu pops up, asking if she wants to eat something. However, Lily starts to analyze Akutsu's wet hair and then notices that she's not wearing her anti-jiggle device. Putting 2 and 2 together, she reaches the conclusion that the demon took her purity, which fills her with so much rage that she starts attacking him like a lunatic. Meanwhile, Akutsu tries to stop her, insisting on his innocence when Lilia appears and assures Lily that she was the one who swapped her dirty clothes, and since she knows the girls gotta breathe, she removed her lace armor. At that moment, Lily's soul leaves her body as she realizes she accused a poor demon for no reason. Once everyone calms down, Akutsu brings Lily a coffee, who quietly asks him if things got worse after she fainted. Akutsu assures her that he and her brother talked it out, and he left him with a warning to never show his ugly face again. Sighing in relief, Lily then tries to ask him about his transformation, but Akutsu stops her and says that he already told Lilia that he doesn't remember why he lost control of himself. After piecing everything together, Lily wonders why she is at his sad little apartment and arrives at one conclusion: that Akutsu brought her here to do naughty stuff with her. Now frustrated with the constant accusations, Akutsu tells Lily to stop trying to make him into a diddler, revealing that he didn't go to her place because he was worried that her brother would show up with more angels. Despite having all her queries answered, Lily is unable to relax as she wonders if Akutsu is lying about his true powers. This then gives her the idea that if Zwei rats her out, she can lie and say that she kept Akutsu close because she wanted to study his powers further. While she is making all these plans to save her hide, Akutsu politely thanks her for helping him snap out of his murderous rage. That's when Lily realizes that she can't be unfaithful to him. Akutsu then tells her to go home now that things are settled, but she shyly tells him that she is staying over, shocking him. When he tries to oppose her, she ignores him and instead calls Lilia to grab some toiletries for her sleepover. Upon her return, Lilia turns towards Akutsu and reminds him to take care of her master. With that, she dashes out while Lily tells Akutsu she is going for a bath and warns him not to sneak a peek. Akutsu decides to inform Liz not to show up since he already has a baddie over, but when she doesn't pick up, he busies himself until Lily casually pops out of his bathroom and walks around the house like she owns it. As night falls, Akutsu is forced to sleep on the floor while Lily takes control of his bed. A couple of hours later, she grows restless and comes to check up on Akutsu. Seeing him sleep so peacefully, she covers him with the blanket and confesses that when her brother had her pinned to the ground, her mind was completely overtaken by fear, even when she knew he wouldn't hurt her. So in her most vulnerable moment, she wished for him to help her. And when he did come, her heart went crazy with happiness. As Lily confesses all this to Akutsu, she cannot help but get tearful over how she is a coward who cannot even thank him properly for risking his life for her sake. Unable to resist herself, she then places a peck on Akutsu's lips and quickly heads back to sleep. The next day, Lily and Akutsu wake up in a frenzy as the angel complains that she is late to school because of him. Akutsu shortly fires back that she was the one who slept in late and then teasingly asks her if she was doing something naughty last night. For a second, Lily fears that he found out about the little kiss she gave him until he clarifies that he meant her eating out of his fridge while he is fast asleep. Blushing profusely, Lily states that she would never behave like a person with 3 chins. On their way to school, the duo runs into their weird friend group, and when Hirota sees them coming together, he begins to spiral out again. Upset over his reaction, Yuka instantly tells Hirota to stop acting like a clown, and he admits that he was just joking around. He then turns towards Akutsu and teases him for being all fluff with Lily. As for Lily, she looks at her new friends and realizes that when she came from heaven, her heart was empty, and she had never imagined that she would come to cherish anyone until she found Akutsu and their moronic sidekicks. With that, she also acknowledges that she has feelings for the demon and hopes that one day he will feel the same way for her. Meanwhile, somewhere far away, Sway calls his big sister to give her an update on Lily. He assures her that he didn't find any difference in Lily, and she is still the same old wingless fraud, so she can rest easy. After ending the call, he finds himself wondering if there will be a twist in this story of an angel and a demon. Do you wish you had an angel giving you a demonic sloppy? If yes, comment wings, and as always, like and subscribe for more.